Hey, I'm cutting it close on time today, guys. Had to remember how to make all of the pieces work together. How you doing today? So, if you've not found it before, I'm getting ready to record an audiobook live. So you get to see all the mistakes and outtakes and retakes. And I'm sure it's like watching paint dry for some people. But if it's interesting to you, welcome. This is what I do. I record audiobooks. So, we are in the midst of Old Mr. Crow. What I do here is pretty much limited to public domain so that I'm not going against any copyrights. All right, see, I told you I was a little behind here. Just now brought up my DAW, creating a new song. This is one I'm going to do the post of myself, so I'm choosing that template. And the door's not closed yet, so you get to meet Willow. You gonna say hi? Okay. Clearly she can't be in here while I'm recording, but this is okay. All right, this will be chapter 13. Can't remember if I've been leaving this way. My screen, because those are my progressives. There are my booth glasses. Okay. So this part's ready. For some reason, my chat window is way bigger than usual. There we go. So I won't be able to watch the chat while I'm recording, but between chapters, I will check in and see if there are any questions. All right, kitty. You gonna lie there? You can lie there. Just don't purr too loud or anything, okay? We're gonna try it? We'll try it. Sometimes it works briefly. Okay? You have to be a quiet kitty. If you start, what you gonna do, babe? You have to be quiet, kitty. Yeah. Rubbing up against the desk doesn't work. Sorry, sweetie. Gotta go. Gotta go. Shoo. Shoo, shoo. Bye. I know you want to stay. I know it's cozy and warm. Bye. Oh, no. Bye. As long as she doesn't start scratching at the walls, we're good. Oh, okay. All right, so old Mr. Crow has been teasing the train. Okay. Oop. Well, I did that. Okay, I wasn't in the active window. All right. "13. The game of checkers. Mr. Crow told all his neighbors that he had made the train angry with him, and he invited everyone to come down to the village with him the following day to enjoy the sport. I'm going to race the train again, Mr. Crow explained, and I shall fly right in front of it, too, just as I did today. You'll see what a fuss it will make, And if you don't say it's a good joke, I'll never wear a checkered red coat again." The next day, Jasper Jay invited Mr. Crow to take part in a game of checkers. Whenever anybody in the neighborhood wanted to play checkers, he had to ask Mr. Crow, on account of having to use his checkered red coat for the board. Mr. Crow accepted the invitation. "But I shall have to stop at exactly 16 minutes past 2, he said. "The train starts from the village." Village? It's pretty good. I made it over a minute without stopping. That is not usual for me. "Exactly 16 minutes past 2, he said." And then I lost my place because my volume was way too loud on my playback. "Exactly 16 minutes past 2, he said. "The train starts from the village at 2:30 sharp, and I don't want to be late." "Very well, Jasper." Oh, that was not Jasper Jay's voice. "Very well. 2 sharp, and I don't want to be late." "Very well," Jasper Jay agreed. "I shall want to stop then myself, because I'm coming along with you to see the fun." They had played 27 games of checkers, and they were in the midst of the 28th when Mr. Crow suddenly cocked his eye at the sun. "Goodness!" he exclaimed, springing up quickly. "It's 15.5 minutes after 2, and I shall have to be starting for the village." He reached for his checkered red coat, which was spread upon the ground between them. "Wait a moment," Jasper Jay cried. "I'd suggest you're leaving the coat right where it is. Then we can come back to our game after we've had our fun at the back of my mind, I was thinking, is this really Jasper Jay's voice? Between them, that punchiness. "Wait a moment," Jasper Jay cried. "I'd suggest you're leaving your coat right where it is. Then we can come back to our game after we've had our fun with the train. I'm going to win the game, so it's hardly fair not to finish it." Now, Mr. Crow had not liked the idea of leaving his handsome red coat upon the ground, but he never could bear the thought of being beaten, and Jasper Jay's remark made him feel quite peevish. "I fully expect to win this game myself," the old gentleman said somewhat stiffly. Let's go back and make that stiffer. Beaten, and Jasper Jay's remark made him feel quite peevish. "I fully expect to win this game myself," the old gentleman said somewhat stiffly. "So I'll leave my coat here as you suggest. But I shall have to go this instant." Ugh. "So I'll leave my coat here as you suggest. But I shall have to go this instant, for I must stop at my house and get my yellow coat. Of course, I can't go down to the village in my shirt sleeves." He hurried away then, with Jasper Jay close behind him. And as soon as Mr. Crow had put on his bright yellow coat, the two checker players started for the village. Then Jasper... When? So I'm catching some misreads as I go, fixing all of those as I go, of course. But as I've said in prior videos, I'll have to have someone proof this to see what I've missed. Crow had put on his bright yellow coat. The two checker players started for the village. When Jasper and Mr. Crow reached the tree where the old gentleman had waited for the train the day before, they found as many as a dozen of their neighbors already there. Even as Mr. Crow dropped down upon a limb, he could hear the train coming up the track. Mr. Crow's friends in the tree chose the best seats they could find. Dropped down upon a limb. Connect that better. He could hear the train coming up the track. Mr. Crow's friends in the tree chose the best seats they could find in order to get a good view of the race. And at the foot of the tree, Jimmy Rabbit stood on tiptoe. He had often wished he could climb a tree, but never so much as then. I go back again. It's just... Chose the best seats they could find in order to get a good view of the race. And at the foot of the tree, Jimmy Rabbit stood on tiptoe. He had often wished he could climb a tree, but never so much as then. End of chapter. They're short and sweet in these books. The Tuck-Me-In tales. All right. Mix down the chapter. Often I would open the door, but I don't want to tease the kitty. And put that in the Tale of Old Mr. Crow folder. Close it. Save it. All right, new template. Not new template, same template. New song for a new chapter. I don't think I put that last one. What folder did I put it in? Interesting. I put chapter 13 in No Man's Land, evidently. Let me go back. Let's keep things organized. I bet I put it in here. Yeah. I put it in the middle of the book I'm recording when I'm not here. So, and I cannot just move it. If I were to try to just move, where did it go? Oh dear. Media. Cache. History. Stems. All right. Close this out. Close that out. Open this file. Okay. Sorry. Going about things differently. Little file management error. Takes more time to fix than to do it right in the first place, as with most things. All right. I am going to save. Save to a new folder. That's what I want. And I want it to go in The Tale of Old Mr. Crow. Yeah. So now I have 2 of those. Chapter 13s. One in the proper place, one in floating around in the midst of another book. I'll go back and delete that one later when I'm sure I've got everything right. All right. New chapter. In the correct folder this time. Chapter 14. It's one of the biggest challenges with any media production, any kind of arts type of job. Getting all of your files organized such that you can find them when you need them, keep them organized. This is chapter 14. I'm reading Roman numerals, not my strong suit. I've been known to get things wrong. Things are getting froggy, time for tea. Again, not my full warm-up. Don't know where my morning went. I do, but I'll spare you those details. All right. Continuing on with the train. So yeah, the tea loosened up some of the phlegm. Now there's more of it in the way. Pardon me. 14. The Lucky Laugh. As the train drew nearer to the tree where Mr. Crow and his friends were waiting, it gave a loud shriek. "You hear that?" said Mr. Crow. "It's still angry." And he shouted an impudent "caw, caw" in reply. In a moment more, the race began. Mr. Crow had no trouble in beating the train, just as he always had. And when he had passed it, he dropped quickly and swerved across the track ahead of it. To his great surprise, the train never faltered. It kept straight on, going faster and faster. And the first thing Mr. Crow knew, the last car had whipped around a curve and passed out of sight. Poor Mr. Crow felt very downcast. He would have liked to hurry home at once, because he hated to face his friends. Poor Mr. Crow felt very downcast. He would have liked to hurry home at once, because he hated to face his friends. But he knew they would follow him if he flew away. So he went back to meet them, wearing a bold smile. "Did you see what happened?" he inquired. "The train was afraid to stop." Everybody laughed when Mr. Crow said that. People knew him too. Okay, that said was a little sharp on the S, which I can edit out later, but it's better to fix things in the initial recording when you can. He inquired. "The train was afraid to stop." Everybody laughed when Mr. Crow said that. People knew him too well to be deceived by him. "I suppose your fellow..." People knew him too well to be deceived by him. "I suppose your yellow coat frightened it," Jasper Jay jeered. "Too bad you didn't wear your checkered red one." People knew him too well to be deceived by him. "I suppose your yellow coat frightened it," Jasper Jay jeered. "It's too bad you didn't wear your checkered red one." At that remark, Jimmy Rabbit pricked up his long ears. "Did you wear your red coat yesterday?" he asked Mr. Crow. "Yes." "Did you wear your red coat yesterday?" he asked Mr. Crow. "Yes." "Yes." I like that better. "Yes." "Did you wear your red coat yesterday?" he asked Mr. Crow. "Yes," Mr. Crow replied gruffly. He did not like being questioned by a mere youngster like Jimmy Rabbit. "And you say the train stopped when you flew in front of it yesterday?" Mr. Crow grunted, but Jimmy Rabbit knew that he meant yes. "That's it!" Jimmy Rabbit cried, and he jumped up and down in his excitement. "That's what?" Jimmy Rabbit cried, and he jumped up and down in his excitement. "That's what?" asked Mr. Crow in a sulky tone. "I'll tell you," said Jimmy. "Yesterday the train stopped because it saw your red coat. That's the way to stop a train. You wave a red flag or a red lantern at a train, and it will always stop. But I've noticed that a train pays no attention to any other color. Now, you could wave something green or blue, or I said the wrong colors in the wrong order. But I've noticed that a train pays no attention to any other color. Now, you could wave something green or yellow or blue in front of a train, and no matter how hard you waved, it would go right on as if it never saw you at all. I need more air. Wave something green or yellow or blue in front of a train, and no matter how hard you waved, it would go right on as if it never saw you at all. Maybe you know," Mr. Crow snapped. "And maybe you don't. I said the train."
"Oh," Mr. Crow snapped, "and maybe you don't."
"I said the train was afraid to stop, and I still think so." Jimmy Rabbit winked at the crowd in the tree. "I must hop along now," he told them. "I'm glad I came to see the race, for is it a
"I must hop along now," he told them.
I'm glad I came to see the race, for it has been even more fun than I expected." Then Jasper Jay gave Mr. Crow a great start. "It's too bad," he said. "It's too bad you can't wear your red coat anymore, Mr. Crow." "How's that?" asked Mr. Crow quickly. "You promised that if we didn't say it was a good joke."
"How's that?" asked Mr. Crow quickly.
No, I'm gonna go back a ways.
"It's too bad." Then Jasper Jay gave Mr. Crow a great start.
"It's too bad," he said. "It's too bad you can't wear your red coat anymore, Mr. Crow." "How's that?" asked Mr. Crow quickly. "You promised that if we didn't say it was a good joke, you'd never wear a checkered red coat again." Now Mr. Crow had forgotten all about that remark, and for a moment he looked worried. Then he turned cheerful all at once. "Look here," he cried. "When I came back to this tree, you all laughed, didn't you?" Everybody admitted that. "Then there must have been a good joke somewhere," Mr. Crow said, "and I shall wear my red coat as often as I please." No one really cared anyhow, whether he did or whether he didn't. But Mr. Crow was angry with Jasper Jay, and he refused to finish the game of checkers with him.
No one really cared anyhow, whether he did or whether he didn't.
But Mr. Crow was angry with Jasper Jay, and he refused to finish the game of checkers with him. Boop. End of another short chapter. So you don't often see this with the short chapters, but because I didn't warm up quite as properly between chapters, sometimes I will take a little coffee straw and blow through it. It kind of helps relax, and there's stuff that goes in it, back pressure, whatever. I'll blow through it, sometimes hum through it while I wait for my chapters to mix down. Which my not talking through it makes this even more exciting to watch, I bet. And set up the next chapter, ready to go. And that's good. To go faster or slower when I'm not talking through it? Does that sound smoother to you? I don't know, it feels smoother. "15. Mr. Crow's new coat." When Mr. Crow decided one fall that he would stay in I started to say Pheasant Valley, but it's Pleasant Valley. Just because the 2 books I've looked at so far had birds doesn't mean they all do. I'm going to do a little check-in over here also. There. Okay. All right.
15. Mr. Crow's new coat.
When Mr. Crow decided one fall that he would stay in Pleasant Valley during the winter instead of going south, he remembered at once that he would need a thick overcoat. That was when he went to Mr. Frog's tailor's shop, for Mr. Frog, as you know, was a tailor. "I want you to make me a warm overcoat," Mr. Crow told him. "Can you do it?" Okay, so Mr. Crow's voice is already pretty croaky. Trying to do the older version of caw, caw. So what do we do with Mr. Frog? Certainly, 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 certainly. See how I can enunciate through that, and if it's not too straining. Certainly. I'm gonna note here. There's an actor in 30s films. His voice is just down like this, but with more resonance, of course, because his body is bigger. That's who I'm hearing in the back of my mind. I'll have to look him up. All right. Low. Almost no vocalization. It's more about that. Oh. I know who I'm thinking of also. There's a little girl that went to the same babysitter I did, and there was actually something congenitally wrong with her vocal cords, and she kind of had that sort of a gritty sound all the time until maybe just before puberty. I don't know. At some point they did a minor operation and she had a voice again. Hey, Erica, if you're out there. Okay. Low. Decreased vocal vibration. And he's a little bit of a shyster, this Mr. Frog. You'll find out. He never loses his temper is one of my notes. He's the only tailor in the valley. Speaks briskly. Aha. Aha, that's important. All right, all of these layers. Shyster. Click, 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 click.
Mr. Crow told him. Can you do it?
Certainly, said Mr. Frog. You've come to the right place. Everybody says I'm the best tailor in Pleasant Valley. And that was quite true, because he was the only one. What will you have? Stripes, checks, or spots? Mr. Frog asked briskly. What do you suggest? Mr. Crow replied. He had not thought of much.
What do you suggest? Mr. Crow replied.
He had not thought much about his new coat, except that he wanted it to be warm. Spots. Spots, by all means. Spots, by all means.
He had not thought much about his new coat, except that he wanted it to be warm.
Spots, by all means, said Mr. Frog. I always wear 'em myself. They're the best, to my mind. For if you happen to get a spot on your coat, what's one bus... Ugh.
I always wear 'em myself. They're the best, to my mind.
For if you happen to get a spot on your coat, what's one spot more? That's a good idea, Mr. Crow said. And how much will you ask to make me a spotted coat? I charge by the spot, said Mr. Frog. The more spots, the more your coat will cost. So I'd advise you to make it...
said Mr. Frog. The more spots, the more your coat will cost.
So I advise you to take a coat with large spots,
said Mr. Frog. The more spots, the more your coat will cost.
And that's a misread in that one, too. Go back further.
Coat. I charge by the spot, said Mr. Frog.
The more spots, the more the coat will cost. So I'd advise you to take a coat with large spots because there'll be fewer of them and the price will be less. That's a good idea, too, said old Mr. Crow. You may take my coat.
That's a good idea, too, said old Mr. Crow.
You may make my new coat of this. He pointed to a piece of blue cloth with yellow spots about the size of $1.25. Good. 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 Good.
Piece of blue cloth with yellow spots about the size of $1.25.
Good, said Mr. Frog. Then he measured Mr. Crow, and then he measured the cloth, and then he scratched some figures on a flat stone. There'll be 13 spots on your coat, and that'll make just 13 that you'll owe me. 13 what? Asked Mr. Crow. Ah, that's the question, said Mr. Frog mysteriously. Let's make that sound more mysterious, as much as I can, in that frog voice. Ah.
13 what? Asked Mr. Crow.
Ah, that's the question, said Mr. Frog mysteriously. I'll tell you when your coat's finished. You can pay me then. It's what I...
That's the question,
Wow.
said Mr. Frog mysteriously.
I'll tell you when your coat's finished, and you can pay me then. It's what's known as spot cash, he added. Very well, Mr. Crow answered, and I'll come back tomorrow. And I'll come back. There's a little dash.
It's what's known as spot cash, he added.
Very well, Mr. Crow answered, and I'll come back tomorrow, said the tailor. When tomorrow came, Mr. Crow flew over to the pond where Mr. Frog had his tailor shop, and that spry gentleman slipped Mr. Crow's new coat upon him. While Mr. Crow stood stiffly in the middle of the floor, Mr. Frog pulled the coat here and patted there. Patted it there. Patted it there.
And that Mr. Crow's new coat upon him.
While Mr. Crow stood stiffly in the middle of the floor, Mr. Frog pulled the coat here and patted it there. He backed away and looked at it with his head on one side, and then he stood on his head and looked at it with his legs. Let's make more of that because that's funny.
He backed away and looked at it with his head on one side.
And then he stood on his head and looked at it with his legs dangling in the air. It's a perfect fit, he assured Mr. Crow finally. And then he caught up a needle and thread and busied himself behind Mr. Crow's back for a long time. Inquired at last. I'm getting tired of standing still. Just fixing it.
What are you doing? Mr. Crow inquired at last.
I'm getting tired of standing still. Just fixing it, answered Mr. Frog. It'll be finished in a minute. And it was. He stuck his needle into Mr. Crow to let him know it was done. Why did you do that? He asked hotly. I wanted to break my thread, Mr. Frog explained pleasantly. It's the quickest way of breaking a thread that I know of. You look out, or I'll break something else for you. Let's make that squawkier. Usually I try to, when I'm prepping, highlight these things so I catch them, but missed a few today.
I know of.
I'll break something else for you, Mr. Crow squawked, for he was thoroughly enraged. And now, he added, I'll pay you what I owe before leaving. I owe 13 of something." Then Mr. Frog surprised him. "I've decided to not to take, but not to take." Same meaning, different writing style.
Thing. Then Mr. Frog surprised him.
"I've decided not to take any pay," he announced. "I hear that 13 is an unlucky number." "Is that so?" Mr. Frog exclaimed. "Perhaps it is. If you had stuck your needle into me 13 times, it certainly would have been unlucky for you." On the whole, Mr. Crow was well pleased with his bargain. He was glad he had asked Mr. Frog to make a coat for him. Indeed, if only the tailor had not stabbed him with his needle, he would have returned to the shop at once and ordered Mr. Frog to make him a pair of trousers with 13 spots on them.
He would have returned to the shop at once and ordered Mr. Frog to make him a pair of trousers.
And I said all that really fast.
His bargain. He was glad he had asked Mr. Frog to make a coat for him.
Indeed, if only the tailor had not stabbed him with his needle, he would have returned to the shop at once and ordered Mr. Frog to make him a pair of trousers with 13 spots on them. Anything to get a deal. End of that chapter, but that's not the end of the Overcoat Saga. Whew. I have my fan on today. I do. Cool air and oxygen. Always a blessing between chapters. And just while I'm here, double checking this folder to make sure I've gotten everything in there. 13, 14, 15. I am putting a space between chapter name and number. Close the file. Save changes. New song. Self-post template. Choose the right folder. Then name it Chapter 16 of The Tale of Old Mr. Crow, with a space after chapter. Okay. So this possibly references another book in this first chapter. Not one that I've recorded yet, but that I might. Once I get through the Tuck Me In tales, there are 3, I think, more similar series that this author has done. All of them kind of teaching a little bit of natural history along with the little stories. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see you later. 16. A tight fit. Now, a certain thing happened that made Mr. Crow change his mind about staying north for the winter. It had something to do with Nut and Frisky Squirrel and Sandy Chipmunk. But that is another story, and you may have already heard it.
Frisky Squirrel and Sandy Chipmunk. But that is another story.
And you may already have heard it. Anyhow, Mr. Crow suddenly decided that my chair made a noise when I leaned back like that. Not good to change mic distance too much either. Catch that.
That is another story, and you may already have heard it.
Anyhow, Mr. Crow suddenly decided that he would have to fly southward after all. He was disappointed because he didn't like the thought.
Mr. Crow suddenly decided that he would have to fly southward after all.
He was disappointed because he didn't like the thought of having to make so long a journey. Moreover, he had his new blue coat with the yellow spots, which Mr. Frog had made for him. It was a handsome coat, and everybody said it was very becoming to Mr. Crow. But he knew it was altogether too warm to wear to his home in the South, where the weather was sure to be mild. I'll have to leave. Tummy gurgle.
Together too warm to wear to his home in the South, where the weather was sure to be mild.
I'll have to leave my new coat.
Together too warm to wear to his home in the South, where the weather was sure to be mild.
I'll have to leave my new coat behind, he said to himself in a sad voice. It's almost too heavy to wear even here, though it is fall. I hate to do it, but I'd better take it off and hide it somewhere. There might be some cold days next spring when I'd be glad of a thick, warm coat. So the old gentleman started to unbutton his new coat, which he had worn all day, ever since Mr. Frog had slipped it on him early in the morning.
Days next spring when I'd be glad of a thick, warm coat.
So the old gentleman started to unbutton his new coat, which he had worn all day, ever since Mr. Frog had slipped it on him early in the morning. Anyone might think that it would have been an easy matter to unbutton the coat, for Mr. Frog had sewed. I would say it had sewn.
All day, ever since Mr. Frog had slipped it on him early in the morning.
Anyone might think that it would have been an easy matter.
All day, ever since Mr. Frog had slipped it on him early in the morning.
Anyone would think that it would be. Shoo, golly. So the tongue sticking out was to try to loosen these muscles a little bit. Sometimes muscle tension makes enunciation hard.
And all day, ever since Mr. Frog had slipped it on him early in the morning.
Anyone might think that it would have been an easy matter to unbutton the coat, for Mr. Frog had sewed a double row of big brown buttons down the front of it. But for some time, Mr. Crow fumbled with one of them in vain. Ha! He clicked. This is a joke on himself. Ha!
But for some time, Mr. Crow fumbled with one of them in vain.
Ha! He exclaimed at last. This is stupid of me. I'm trying to unbutton the wrong row of buttons. Then he fumbled with one of the buttons off the other. Off. I started to say on, but it's of.
I'm trying to unbutton the wrong row of buttons.
Then he fumbled with one of the buttons of the other row. But strange to say, he was no more successful than before. He struggled with all the buttons in that row. There were 5 of them. And then he tried the other 5, one after another. Mr. Crow couldn't understand it. He wanted more than ever to take the coat off because his efforts to unbutton it had made him quite warm. I shall have to get somebody to help me, he said at last. It may be that my eyesight is failing, though I haven't noticed before that there was anything the matter with it. There's my cousin Jasper Jay. I'll ask him to unbutton my coat. And he called to Jasper, who had just alighted on a stump not far away. To Mr. Crow's dismay, his cousin refused to assist him. I know you too well, said Jasper Jay. You want to play some trick on me. If the buttons were on the back of your coat, I might help you. But they're right in front of you, and they're so big that a blind person couldn't help finding them, even on the darkest night. No, you can't fool me this time. Very well, Mr. Crow croaked. If you won't help me, there are plenty of other people who'll be glad to. And he flew away in something very like a temper. To Mr. Crow's surprise, he couldn't find anyone that would unbutton his new coat for him. Like Jasper Jay, everybody was afraid that Mr. Crow meant to play a trick on him. Mr. Crow was beginning to be frightened. He had called on all his friends in Pleasant Valley except one. And if that one should refuse, Mr. Crow didn't know what he could do. He had liked his spotted coat, but now he began to hate it, and he wanted to slip out of it and never see it again. So Mr. Crow hurried over to the swamp where Fatty Coon lived. Oh, we had a voice for Fatty Coon. Last time. Don't. I think it's something like that. Would I right? Fatty Coon, don't is what I wrote. I know what that means to me. All right. Mix down. Save it in the folder that I will send off for proofing. Close and yes, save it. Set up a new file. Chapter 17. Yeah. "17. The Strange Buttons." To Mr. Crow's delight, it did not occur to Fatty Coon that Mr. Crow might be playing a trick on him. You see, as was usually the case, Fatty was hungry, and he had no thought for anything except food. When Mr. Crow explained what a fix he was in and asked Fatty to unbutton his coat for him, some consonants weren't in the right order then.
Fatty was hungry, and he had no thought for anything except food.
When Mr. Crow explained what a fix he was in, he asked Fatty to unbutton his coat for him, and asked.
Fatty was hungry, and he had no thought for anything except food.
When Mr. Crow explained what a fix he was in and asked Fatty to unbutton his coat for him, Fatty stepped up to him at once. But he didn't try to unbutton the coat. He sniffed at the buttons while his face wore a puzzled look, and then he began to smile. "I'll tell you what I'll do," Fatty said. "If you'll give me these buttons, I'll take them off for you. And then, of course, you'll have no more trouble with your coat. You can throw it off any time you please." Anytime you go. It just sounded a little bit southern. I'm not sure if that's right. I'm going to go back.
And then he began to smile.
Wore
a puzzled look.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
And then he began to smile.
"I'll tell you what I'll do," Fatty said. "If you'll give me these buttons, I'll take them off for you. And then, of course, you'll have no more trouble with your coat. You can throw it off any time you please." "Good," Mr. Crow exclaimed. "The buttons shall be yours. I don't want them, for I shall never wear this coat again." So Fatty Coon set to work to take off the buttons. He removed them in a very odd way, too. Instead of tearing them off, he began eating them. "Goodness," Mr. Crow cried. "Aren't you afraid you'll be ill?" But Fatty Coon never answered. He kept on nibbling the buttons and crunching them in his mouth, and he never stopped until he swallowed the very last one. Then he smacked his lips, for he knew no better. Get your right character in line there, Ange.
Then he smacked his lips, for he knew no better.
"Those were the finest ginger snaps I've ever tasted." Ooh, wrong. "Do you mind?"
Then he smacked his lips, for he knew no better.
"Those were the finest ginger snaps I ever tasted," he remarked. "It's a pity there weren't a baker's dozen of them instead of only 10. Mr. Crow.
It's a pity there weren't a baker's dozen of them instead of only 10.
Old Mr. Crow nearly fell over, he was so surprised. He had never dreamed that those big brown buttons which Mr. Frog had sewn upon his coat were nothing but ginger snaps. "If I'd known that, I would have eaten them myself," he exclaimed. "But I don't care. Now that I can get out of this heavy coat, I'm satisfied." But to old Mr. Crow's dismay, just to Mr. Crow, not old this time.
Now that I can get out of this heavy coat, I'm satisfied.
But to Mr. Crow's dismay, the coat clung round him as tightly as ever. He couldn't throw it open at all, and he turned the least bit pale. "This is strange," he murmured. "What can be—" No, make that murmurier.
Throw it open at all, and he turned the least bit pale.
"This is strange," he murmured. "What can be the matter, I wonder?" Fatty Coon looked at the coat again, and then he laughed. "The trouble," he said, "the trouble is there are no buttonholes. Your coat doesn't seem to open in front, and it doesn't open anywhere else either. It's sewed on you, Mr. Crow." Now the problem is, he was laughing through all this. Oh no, I went back too far.
Throw it open at all, and he turned the least bit pale.
"This is strange," he murmured. "What can be the matter, I wonder?" Fatty Coon looked at the coat again, and then he laughed. "The trouble," he said, "the trouble is there are no buttonholes. Your coat doesn't open in the front, and it doesn't open anywhere else either. It's sewed on you, Mr. Crow." Poor Mr. Crow began to feel faint. He leaned against a tree and did not speak for some time. But he was thinking deeply. And all at once he understood what had happened. "It's all the fault of that silly tailor, Mr. Frog," he groaned. "He made me stand still a long time, and that was when he sewed my coat up the back. What can I do?" he asked helplessly. "If I were you, I'd go straight to Mr. Frog's shop and make him take the stitches out. I kind of lost some enunciation in there."
What can I do? He asked helplessly.
"If I were you, I'd go straight to Mr. Frog's shop and make him take the stitches out," Fatty Coon said. "And if he has any more of those ginger snaps, I wish you'd let me know." Okay. You know, we can stop there and finish before the hour's up. Or we can continue this coat saga. I think we're going to finish there today, folks. Now, I learned my lesson before to not be too excited to say goodbye too fast, because I might forget to save something important. So let me do this. So I feel like the end of last time I told you there was something I would link to in the comments, and I don't remember what it was, so I didn't do it. But today I'm going to share a link of, well, to this series, of course, as it exists so far. One book, The Tale of Jolly Robin. Close and save. All right. But also what I've been listening to. Completely different mindset, but I've been listening to The Little Book of Miriam by Miriam Margolyes. She's delightful if you don't know her. Not maybe suitable to listen to with children around, but if you're a grown-up and are not offended by humorous ribaldry that is her life, you might enjoy the book too. And yeah, it's some life lessons mixed in there. It's a good book. There's my review. It's good. And I'm sure the book is good, but in the audiobook she reads herself. I did not realize what a great voice actress she was. I mean, that's most of her history, and I didn't know until this book. Yeah, there's some excellent character work mixed in with her reminiscences. It's beautiful. Anyway, plan to be back here again next Tuesday at 10. Probably I won't be picking up here with chapter 18. I think I'm going to get this recorded between then. Now and then. We'll see. We'll see. Today, I finished my Melanie Travis #1 book. Submit that. Then I have a pseudonym book I am reading probably Thursday, Friday after re-prepping tomorrow. Then I might get to Mr. Crow Monday and finish him up. We'll see. Or maybe you'll get to find out next Tuesday how he gets out of this coat. All right. As I remember from last time, I have to click twice to say goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. See you guys next time. Bye.